in the midst of the chaos of having two boys, one being 6 weeks old, extremely needy, and one being 4 years old, and just a lightning bolt of energy. Um, yeah, I got the whole Mr. Mom thing going. So, real quick, I did have the fortunate opportunity to go through a couple snippets of the Jon Jones, Chael Sonnen media call. And if you haven't heard yet, they are going to be the next Ultimate Fighter coaches. They're going to be rival coaches. And as at Son and CH on Twitter puts it, he's going to teach these men how to be fighters, and Jon Jones is going to teach them how to be greedy. And so the verbal warfare has started already. This is something that I don't agree with. I don't think Chael should have got this fight. Chael just lost a fight, a rematch to Anderson Silva at 185, a title shot at 185. That he lost a rematch, a title shot. He did earn his way to that title shot. Um, I think it was Dana's admiration, for him stepping up on short notice. The infamous, UFC. What card got canceled? 151 got canceled, and Chael was listen, here's the reason why Chael stepped up is because he does the same goddamn thing every time. He takes you down. He ground you. He's a grinder. He's a grinder, man, and that's what he does, and that's what he's always going to do. Jon Jones has. I mean, he has so much more than Chael Sonnen has. I think it's going to be a fairly easy fight for Jon Jones, and hopefully there'll be some top tier competition waiting for him. I got Jones all day long. I can't wait to. I do not have the betting odds or the spread for you guys yet, but I will very soon. Chael said already. I'm going to take him down repeatedly, and to which Jon Jones just laughed. Jon Jones is also a Greco-Roman wrestler. I don't think he's too worried about being off of his back, although he hasn't showcased it because he's never been taken down in his mixed martial arts career. Take notes, people. This guy's never been taken down ever. He has an 84.5-inch reach advantage. He's the youngest ever UFC champion, which is funny because I do recall Vitor Belfort winning the heavyweight championship belt when he was 19. I do remember that. But for some reason, everybody says Jon Jones, so I'm going to go with Jon Jones too. If there's anyone that makes waves, right now in MMA, I'm going to say it's Nate Diaz, Jon Jones, and fuck it, I'll stick my leg out there and go ahead with Demetrius Johnson. I'm liking the way he's looking. I'm liking Mighty Mouse right now. So I like those guys. Those guys aren't gonna. I mean, right now they're making splashes, but towards the end of their career, they're gonna be making waves. Chael Sonnen, I think pretty much what he's gonna be remembered for is the shit that he's already done, or what we all know and love him for, and that's his mouth. Here's why they had to do this whole thing with Chael Sonnen getting the immediate title shot and moving up to 205 from 185 middleweight to light heavyweight, because they changed from it was shit, what the fuck is it? Spike TV to FX. They changed the format to a live format. These guys were locked in a house like 13 or 15 weeks or something crazy. So they changed the format to we were actually watching them live. The fights were actually live, and Uriah Faber was the coach. Dominic Cruz was the coach. And I don't think, like I said before, I don't think, everyone has warmed up to the lighter weight classes yet, let alone want to see them coach and then, fight to a 5-round decision. And then Cruz pulls out. And then, we had, of course, the travesty that was 149, UFC 149, where Hanan Barao defeated Uriah Faber in unanimous decision to take home the belt, and that would probably be, in my opinion, Faber's. Shout out to Faber, by the way. Thank you for the congrats when my son was born. You can see him swinging in the background. That would probably be his last chance. But you know what? Never count Faber out, ever, ever. So I could see it making one more run. Not to get off topic, but they were pulling the lowest ratings in FX history. I mean, no one was watching it, and then they do go ahead and for some reason or another, and I can't wrap this around. I can't grasp it. Why would you put Shane Carwin and Roy Nelson as coaches for this season. I can't. I do not understand why. I mean, you would want a familiar face. You want familiar faces. Chuck and Tito. That made sense. Tito and Shamrock. That made perfect sense. Faber and Cruz. That made perfect sense. See, BJ Penn and Jens Pulver. That was the last time I was actually excited to watch an episode of The Ultimate Fighter. I'm excited to watch Jon Jones and Chael Sonnen on The Ultimate Fighter, and that's why they did it. Because listen, that Chael's gonna just like he's already stirring up a shitstorm. Can you imagine the shit that's gonna come out of his mouth on The Ultimate Fighter and try to get into Jon Jones' head? He's the best at it. He's the best at it since Muhammad Ali. I know it's a Dana White quote. It is a DW quote, but it's a true quote. He's the best on the mic since Muhammad Ali. The shit that comes off the top of his head, and it is off the top of his head. I mean, he doesn't, sit around all day and write jokes. He's a politician, and he's so quick on his feet. I mean, he will make you look stupid and silly, and and he's gonna do it to Jon Jones. And to see Jones react to it's going to be fun to watch, and the fight itself is going to be fun to watch. The reach is definitely going to play a factor, and see if Chael can get in close enough to score his double. And Jones already called his ground and pound weak, but like I said, they really needed star power, and they really needed star power. And not only a star, but a star that knows how to talk and entertain. And who better than Chael P. Sonnen, or I'm sorry, Chael, the American Gangsta Sonnen, to entertain you. And hey, I gotta agree, man. Money talks, bullshit walks, and Chael Sonnen is the man for the job. He's the man for the job, and he's been around forever. He's got to be a great coach. He has to be. He's trained. He's been with Team Quest forever now. He's trained with the best: Dan Henderson, Randy Couture. I mean, he looks up to those guys and fights just like them, But he doesn't have all the assets. He doesn't have all the tools that are not even close to Jon Jones. But even your up and coming rising star in mixed martial arts is damn well rounded, and Chael Sonnen is not. He has improved striking and excellent wrestling, and I even saw him score a submission over Brian Stan, and I was shocked. So he has improved somewhat, but not enough to step into the cage with Jon Jones. I think he's number 2 pound for pound in the world, right behind Anderson Silva and active fighters. I keep promising you guys I'm going to do a pound for pound video, but it's my list. I mean, I just keep switching them. I just keep switching them up. By the way, shout out to my boy Ryan Smith, 1983. What's up, brother? Keep it real, man. Take care of yourself. Anyway, going back to this whole Ultimate Fighter thing, season 5 or 4 was the 4 was the comeback, and I was really excited when Matt Serra. I thought he was a good guy. I wanted to see him fight GSP. I just had a gut feeling that it was going to be an upset. He was an 9 to 1 underdog, and he knocked out George Rush St. Pierre, and since then, George St. Pierre has never been the same. He's played it safe. He's been just decisions are us, and we don't see these flying axe kicks anymore. We don't see this awesome karate and awesome strike from GSP anymore. We all know Matt Serra knocked that shit out of him. When he lost his belt the first time. And Travis Lutter also had Anderson Silva mounted at one point. So, that was a good season. The next season was Jens Pulver and BJ Penn coaching the lightweights when they brought back the 155-pound division. And Nate Diaz ends up taking home that trophy. He'll be fighting for his championship title against Benson Henderson, who I feel has bad karma right now because Frankie Edgar for sure won that fight. That'll be in December. Also, the return of B.J. Penn and Rory McDonald. So we got some pretty good fights coming up. The next fight coming up in about 10 days is going to be the main event anyway. Is of course GSP versus Carlos Condit, and I got that gut feeling again. It's right here, right in the solar plexus, man. I think Condit is going to pull off the upset. I can see Condit pulling this out. I can really see him dethroning GSP. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm right? Because I do. I think I'm dead on. I think I'm dead nuts. I think that there's no other way of explaining it. And this makes all the sense in the world, and it makes more importantly, it makes all the money in the world. Take care of each other. I love y'all.